Welcome to a year of eternal love. A Course in Miracles workbook for students, lesson 11. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. This is the first idea we have had that is related to a major phase of the correction process, the reversal of the thinking of the world. It seems as if the world determines what you perceive. Today's idea introduces the concept that your thoughts determine the world that you see. Be glad, indeed, to practice the idea in its initial form. For in this idea is your release made sure. The key to forgiveness lies in it. The practice periods for today's idea are to be undertaken somewhat differently from the previous ones. Begin with your eyes closed and repeat the idea slowly to yourself. Then open your eyes and look about near and far, up and down, anywhere. And during the minute or so to be spent in using the idea, merely repeat it to yourself, being sure to do so without haste and with no sense of urgency or effort. To do these exercises for maximum benefit, the idea should move from one thing to another fairly rapidly, since they should not linger on anything in particular. The words, however, should be used in an unhurried, even leisurely fashion. The introduction to this idea in particular should be practiced as casually as possible. On concluding the exercises, close your ideas and repeat the idea once more, slowly to yourself. It contains the foundation for the peace and relaxation and freedom from worry that we are trying to achieve. 3 practice periods today will probably be sufficient. And however, if there is little or no uneasiness and an inclination to do more, as many as 5 can be undertaken. More than this is not recommended. What's very important with the insights, it's the practice. Some of these things may seem so strange to you. Hearing, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. That if you have a headache or something, well, this is my meaningless thoughts showing me a meaningless world. I've gone through this course and this workbook a few times, and it just gets better and better the more you practice it. That's what we're all trying to do. Deep down inside, we have all the knowledge that we'll ever need. It's bridging the gap between the knowing Now, that may seem true with any physical discomfort, but the same holds true if I ever take offense to what somebody says or does, the anger or resentment or grievance seems justified and certainly not meaningless, let alone the effect of my meaningless thoughts. Yet this lesson is telling me that this idea is the key to the freedom and peace that I seek. As much as I want this peace, it's a surprising how much resistance there seems to be in applying this idea in certain aspects of my life. When you do the practice periods today, your eyes shut, then you open them and you look about you. And why that you're not lingering on anything, because certain things will mean more to you. Yet they're all the same. So that's why you're to make no exceptions whatsoever. The lessons are saying that it is the lack of exceptions that make these ideas so powerful as a healing aid. And at this point, it is helpful to acknowledge that the resistance, but apply the ideas anyways. You may not understand it, but as you go along, each lesson is getting closer to the undoing process of our past beliefs we've attached to our identity. I'll say that again. Our past experiences, we have based past experiences as our identity. That's not our identity. It's not your identity. That identity is the ego. Okay? Ego's edging God out. It's the mind's belief that it is completely on its own, and the ego's ceaseless attempts to gain the spirit's acknowledgement and thus establish its own existence are useless. Spirit, in its knowledge, is unaware of the ego. It does not attack it. It merely cannot conceive of it at all. The ego is the false you, your shadow self. It's always looking to compare, play the victim, the one that makes you feel small and play small. You're here because you have deep within you know a truth. Something attracted you to this. Something attracted you to this because you know the truth, even if it sounds strange right now. Spirit always knows the truth by the way it feels. I can't wait for you to join with me tomorrow for lesson 12. This is a year of eternal love. I love you. And God bless.